Are electric vehicles killing automotive enthusiasm? Well, we'll answer that question next, right here on EV Basics. A common complaint we hear about electric vehicles is that they are boring, too heavy, too quiet, too artificial. Critics say EVs are nothing more than appliances with no soul, and according to them, you may as well drive your dishwasher. Undoubtedly, many traditional car people are struggling with the transition to electrics, but as we came here to learn at X Takeover, EVs are actually attracting a whole new group of enthusiasts. Founded a few years back as Tesla Takeover, this automotive gathering celebrates electric vehicles, the cult of Elon Musk, and now even SpaceX, hence the updated name. Of course, non-Tesla EVs are welcome too, though only a tiny handful are in attendance. Aside from a car show and scenic driving tour on the gorgeous roads around San Luis Obispo, California, there's much more on the X Takeover schedule. There's an elaborate choreographed light show. They have exhibitors showcasing everything from merchandise and tires to accessories, chargers, and campers, plus an exhaustive lineup of presentations, including an appearance from the big guy himself. It's well known that Tesla fans are particularly passionate about their vehicles, and the vibe at X Takeover is absolutely electric. Yes, pun intended.
It's definitely high energy. Everybody's having a great time. I mean, the Cybertrucks are blowing people's minds here. I mean, they're such a unique vehicle. The modification stuff that's out here, personalization, customization.
It's the technology that Tesla incorporates into their EVs that make it the future, in my opinion.
Seems like we have quite a big turnout. Really stoked to see all the support and the other customer cars here.
We had little kids who would be looking up at their mom and dad saying, "We're gonna see Cybertrucks today," and I'd say, "You're gonna see a lot of them."
It's very welcoming. Never, like, there's some shows in different areas that are like, you know, they each have their own little crew or their own little section, and this one's like everybody's just loving everything.
I have a feeling for Tesla that I've never had for any other company, and I don't have a real understanding of why, but you just feel with Tesla there's a mission.
Now, aside from the passion X Takeover attendees have for Tesla, automotive enthusiasm actually takes many forms, and honestly, there's something for practically everyone. I mean, you can restore classic cars from the ground up or go drag racing on weekends. Some folks are into lowriders, while others cherish Japanese sports cars. Certain folks specialize in minutia like rebuilding quadrajet carburetors, and some people love nothing more than detailing their vehicles. There's a whole spectrum of automotive enthusiasm, though things are changing as drivers embrace new features, technology, and individuality.
Oh, I love the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is very unique in terms of style. It's very polarizing. In the beginning, I was one of the first early ones to get one. This is VIN number 29. But as you can see, I changed it up a little bit because I want it to be a little bit different than other people. This thing is bulletproof. What the panels are, the glass is pretty strong. One of the biggest windshield of all personal automotive vehicles with a big windshield wiper. The reason why I decided to get this was because the Model Y was such a good car, except one thing. It was the most popular selling vehicle. So it's all over the place. I can go to Costco, I'll get lost finding my vehicle. It's big, it's unique, it's polarizing. I love this thing.
But it's not all circuit software in Cybertrucks. Old school cool still has a place in the electric vehicle age, even if this aesthetic is not what most people expect from an EV.
So this is a 2022 Tesla Model Y. They call it a Tesla Model G because it's a gangster. We went full 90s retro lowrider on this to the T. So we have a 17-stage custom paint job. So we went from the interior to the exterior and even to the front with chrome and engraving and diamond cutting. It has it all, basically. I've done 24 karat gold. We've got custom interior with hexagons. We've done a full dashboard spray painted with all these different type of girls and flowers and stuff like that. The actual low riding has to do with undercarriage work. So we have flat panels, batteries under this car.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you look on the glass and you look up, you'll see that I have actually artwork under the vehicle. That's actually Whittier Boulevard, and that's where lowriding started. So that's the original street where people used to ride their cars, yeah.
I own a 2020 Model Y Performance. My husband has a 2018 Model 3. And then on May 31st, we took delivery of a 2024 Tesla Cybertruck. We just drove from Ann Arbor, Michigan to San Luis to participate in this event, and it was an absolutely amazing ride.
Behind me here is the 2021 Model S Plaid that I took across Canada. So it's actually the first 1,000 horsepower car to ever cross Canada. Went from Tofino, Vancouver Island, all the way out to Cape Spear, Newfoundland, which in fact is the easternmost point of the continent of North America.
Of course, an important ingredient to any obsession is plenty of kit to make your project stand out from the crowd. And at X Takeover, vendors are more than happy to oblige with tons of intriguing products and accessories on display. And these people are just as enthusiastic about the EV transition.
So this device is our EV charge share controller.
So we're showing our air suspension that is more comfort oriented.
We're here at X Takeover to talk about, of course, tires, and particularly how our tires are ready for EVs. We're also here to launch a new tire line called the Michelin E-Primacy All Season.
I'm the co-founder of Polydrops. My wife is also the designer. So we designed together this camper here, yeah.
We do just about everything we can to modify these Teslas to be, whether you want them to be more comfortable, whether you want to take them off-road, make them more efficient, make them more aesthetically pleasing. We do just about everything to these vehicles.
We've put focus on just 2 models. We didn't want to build 50 applications out there. We wanted to put focus on just the Model 3 and the Y.
So we're trying to make everything energy efficient as much as possible. So you can see here, people saying like, oh yeah, it's too cold to go places. It's too hot to go places. Yeah, we're living in 21st century and we have all the technology to overcome that.
There's 10 times more home chargers than there are public chargers. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're saying, hey, they're underutilized. They're out there. 66% of people would do this, would share their home chargers. So why the hell are we not doing it? And you can make some money while you do it, right?
This is our Invincible line. So basically this is a Cybertruck, and this is UP's version of the Cybertruck done up. So we have our carbon fiber wide body flares, carbon fiber hood, which has a light bar built in, as well as kind of if you can tell, there's a little bit of a duct there that does help with your overall aerodynamics as well.
This tire line has allowed us to improve our efficiency by 25%. And then you can expect us to continue to make tires with lower rolling resistance to give you better range across all our product portfolio. And you can expect us to continue to improve. The last few tires that we've launched, we've improved the wear by 10, 15, 20% and maintain the warranty. So we're focused on that. We're also focused on making sure that the performance that you get lasts throughout the life of the tire.
It is just the beginning. I mean, you see the enthusiasm of the Cybertruck, and the Model 3s and the Ys, I feel like it's just still at the surface, scratching at the surface. So I think there's even more stuff to come. Just not in the aftermarket, but also in the accessories and all that kind of stuff.
And to keep automotive enthusiasm thriving, it's critical to bring more people into the fold.
43% of women will not drive an EV, do not want to buy an EV because of the sketching charging situation. So, as you know, a lot of charging is done in the back alley of a parking lot. They're poorly lit, there's no amenities. It's not like driving to a gas station where you can use a restroom or, let your kids out at a park or something, let them stretch their legs. You really do need to stay in your car in a lot of areas.
Called EV Ject, this clever item is a special adapter that, in an emergency, allows you to drive away in your EV without having to get out of the vehicle and unplug, which could be a lifesaver.
We are also working with several governments. We have a lot of interest in our CCS2, and we're super excited to be able to support everyone in, safely charging their EV.
We'll continue our quest to learn about automotive enthusiasm in the electric age, but next, a few words from Michelin, the fine folks helping make this episode of EV Basics possible.
For 135 years, Michelin has been innovating for a better life in motion. From earth movers to Airbuses, race cars to rovers, we were even one of the first to consider sustainability in the design of our tires. And now our legacy as pioneers continues in the next revolution, with EV-ready tires designed for performance so you don't have to think about tires at all. You can just enjoy the endless wonders they unlock.
To find the tire that's right for your vehicle, visit michelinman.com. You can also scan the convenient on-screen QR code or hit the link in the description box below. And of course, we thank Michelin for their support of EV Basics. But back to the topic at hand, what's the state of automotive enthusiasm in the electric age? Well, X Takeover participants have a lot to say, and though they might be converts now, some of them required a bit of persuading.
I feel like gearheads have definitely been a little bit hesitant to join the EV platform. Even myself, I wasn't necessarily all that convinced at first until it came to a track day.
So I'm actually a car enthusiast to begin with. I have a Honda S2000 and an Acura NSX. But when I got my first Model Y, it changed my perspective completely on EV. It's not about the feel of the engine or like the shifting to the manual transmission. It's a different love. It's a love of creature comfort and convenience. To charge at night like a phone and then be able to drive my car around town and never have to go to a gas station. It's punchy, it's quiet, it doesn't smell.
I was involved in the first Fast and the Furious movie, and I was involved in bringing Japanese car tuning to the US. So I understood inherently what it was like to see a car tuning world grow from almost zero on the Japanese car side of things. We were building 2,000 horsepower Nissan GTRs, traveling them up and down the street, and we caught the attention of our neighbors at Tesla, who knocked on our door one day. That began our world of creating Unplugged in 2013.
My first car was a 70 Chevelle SS, and I used to drag race it. Loved the car, but my Model Y performance took me to a whole new level.
Until you actually take a moment to sit in that car and see what it's capable of in track mode, and then realize that it doesn't have an engine, it just runs motors, and it's one of the very few cars that you can have full confidence in, that you can take that same car that you drove to the track home without it breaking. These cars are ridiculously strong. And from somebody who's owned a lot of tuner cars and has paid a lot of money to have broken things repaired, the repair process is, these things are basically Legos, so anybody who's an enthusiast who's hesitant, you think about how much money you save in gas and how much money you'd save in overall repair costs. These cars are seriously super capable.
When I first drove a Tesla in 2013, it was obvious to me that the overall capability of electric cars surpasses anything that gasoline-powered engines can do in terms of instant response, in terms of low center of gravity with batteries on the bottom, and instantaneous of handling. All the driver inputs that you try to tune for are already inherently good.
No maintenance, it's just creature comfort, and it's the technology. You can walk to your car, open it because it's all connected by Bluetooth. It's just I'm a tech guy at heart, and this is like tech plus cars together. I love it.
You have people that are getting into electric cars because of the tech aspect that never otherwise would have been involved in the car industry otherwise. Because you have, for example, Tesla specifically, and somewhat Rivian's too as well, you have the gaming aspect, right? So we're using Steam, and we got gaming controllers, Xbox controllers in the car, and then you have all of the other tech, so you're running apps in the car, you're controlling the car through the app, you have the self-drive, you have artificial intelligence, and all these emerging technologies that are in electric cars. So you're bringing a lot more crowd that never otherwise would have been in car culture.
I've been called a disgrace. I've been called somebody that is just a fraud into the car industry because we brought this culture into the new era. I call myself just in front of the curve. I'm in front of that curve.
Go drive one, and then after you have to put your neck in a brace because you put the foot down a bit too hard, and then come back and say they're boring.
And ultimately, the most important thing is that You showcase and give people reasons to have fun. If they have fun and they love their cars, car culture survives. But the best thing that I've seen is we have new customers who never modify becoming excited about this. And for someone 25 years in the industry, what I look for as a metric is enthusiasm of new customers. It's easy enough to keep someone who's been around, who knows how to modify, and have them get a new car. When you see someone going to the track at Tesla Corsa for the first time and never experienced it, that gives you a feeling of optimism for the future of car culture.
So I think for anybody that would be walking away because they're like, oh, it's not gas, well, those guys are still in it because gas cars are still around. So I think that overall, the industry is growing and building, and if anybody's leaving, they're being replaced, 2-to-1 by guys that never otherwise would have been here.
If this was Tesla Takeover, Tesla X, there is a BMW over there that actually caught my eye.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, purple one, and that one, and like BMW. I mean, there's even a Silverado that just came out, electric Silverado. That's coming very soon to me, and maybe something that I'll be working on.
So for me, the mission is bigger than what we really talk about, because what we're doing today is amazing, but what we need to build for us to do tomorrow and into the future, that's what's really more relevant. I'm not going to be here for that long. I'm old, but I know that there's young people who are looking for direction. How fun can this be for me? And just my experience being a Tesla owner for the past 6 years, I can't even imagine that a car in a community would make you feel so exhilarated about life.
Now, the beauty of automotive enthusiasm is that it doesn't have to be us versus them. This is not a zero-sum game. EVs are an emerging technology, but gas-powered cars and trucks aren't going away next week, next month, or even next year. ICE vehicles will still be on the road for decades or even longer, though of course things are evolving.
Car guys are car guys. That I think one of the important things that I do want to say is that we got to get away from sort of the electric against gas. I think that there's room for everybody. How you power the vehicle is irrelevant to being passionate about automotive.
Oh, I'm even more of a car guy now, I think, because now you're not just looking at natural combustion vehicles, but we're even more excited for the EVs in the future.
We love all types of cars, but the future is here. So you got to move forwards, right? There'll always be internal combustion engines, probably for enthusiasts and that, and we don't want to take that away. But yeah, I think going forwards, this is the way to go.
Get an EV when it's time to replace your gasoline vehicle. You're gonna love it, it's a nice progression, but be prepared for some differences. It's not all gonna be pros. You're gonna miss the enthusiast feel of a gasoline car. That's why I didn't sell my NSX, that's why I didn't sell my S2000, because those features, the analog feel is irreplaceable. But the technology has a lot of pros in the EVs.
So here's what I think of it as. It's very similar to horses. So my sister owns a horse. However, she does not farm, she is not a farmer, and she does not own a farm. So for her to drive to work every day, she takes a car, she doesn't take a horse. However, she loves horses, loves to ride the horse. She's not gonna commute to work. She pays to rent it out, at a boarding ranch and that sort of thing, and she goes and rides it for pleasure on the weekends. I think that's where we're gonna see gas cars go to, where, we're storing them away somewhere and we ride them on the weekends type of thing, and our daily driver is gonna be electric.
10 years ago, the reality that I'm living today wasn't even a dot on the horizon. So do I know what it'll be like in 10 years from now? I have no idea, but with the excitement that I've seen happen in my own personal experience, all I can imagine is that it's gonna blow my mind. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, what's the next great thing that's gonna happen?
Well, as we've just seen, automotive enthusiasm is alive and kicking in the EV age, and Tesla fans in particular absolutely love their cars and trucks, which are supported by a whole ecosystem of different products and services. Undoubtedly, automotive enthusiasm is changing. It's totally different now from what it was 50 years ago, and of course it's going to continue evolving in the coming decades. But what is not going to change is the love affair people have with their vehicles, whether they're combustion powered or electric. Next up, learn all about one-pedal driving, what it is, why you should use it, and more. Click right over here to check out that episode of EV Basics right now.